Good evening, everyone. What's up? It's satisfying meal. Topped it off them easy desserts. Mr. Hot is speaking. Previously, there was a fourth part to the SpongeBob Ultimate SpongeBob rant on SpongeBob SquarePants. It's going to be the fifth part, possibly the final part. If there's another topic, there will be a rant, but this is going to be a shorter chapter to the SpongeBob rant. In this rant, there is really no name for this subject, but hang on, what was it? But let's begin, shall we? SpongeBob, SpongeBob, SpongeBob. Honestly, there is nothing to look forward to about SpongeBob anymore. It has aired enough that most people don't even want to see it anymore. That is quite agreeable too. Even if they make a new episode, it won't even be nothing. There will be nothing to look forward to. It's predictable and cliche. It's predictable. It's cliche. Most people would know that. Some people know that SpongeBob. Most people don't know that SpongeBob abused randomness, but they're pretty much following the same story for the majority of the SpongeBob episodes. The characters are bored. Something unrealistic occurs. It doesn't, and they're still in it. The end. That's almost every episode in a heartbeat or a nutshell. If most episodes are using that kind of structure, they're not going to be interesting anymore. SpongeBob is just no longer interesting because it copies the same formula each episode. Not kidding. Watching enough episodes, if one watches enough episodes, they will see a pattern, and they will see how predictable it is for the upcoming episode to be a part of that pattern. If people haven't seen many SpongeBob episodes, they wouldn't know, but the people who have seen like almost every SpongeBob episode, they would understand. Maybe not directly, but someday they'll understand. That's beside the point, though, but just a random episode after a random episode after a random episode after a random episode. That is the pattern of SpongeBob. Randomness following more randomness, following even more randomness, following too much randomness. That's every episode in a heartbeat. Nothing about SpongeBob has changed since. And even a new episode, they're just going to repeat that. They're going to repeat that same process. One random episode followed by another episode using the same formula, another episode using the same formula for the third time, an episode using the formula for the fourth time, and the fifth time, sixth time, seventh time, etc. It's like they're never going to take a break from that pattern. And that pattern's boring. That's not even an interesting pattern. If the pattern was a story building on one another, yes, that's fine, as long as it's not abused, which SpongeBob hasn't even came close to abusing it, nor have they been a shadow of that. But it's okay for a story to build on another. It's not okay to make one random episode after another. That's just repetitive, redundant, boring, makes one very fed up, and it's just lazy overall. It's like, did they not care when they were making those random episodes? Yes, this is a similar topic to the third part to this rant, but cut out this pattern already. SpongeBob is not meant to be like this. It's not meant to be one random episode after another. It should have a story to it. It's predictable that the next episode is gonna copy the same form as the other, because it's been the same process has been overused for at least 10 years. No, it's been used ever since SpongeBob was born, but it's been even more used by a tad for at least a decade, because season 4 started May 2005, and it's already a decade after that. So, if anybody's still watching SpongeBob, expect that. Don't expect anything new, because they're not gonna change their style of cartoon, their style of how the cartoons follow each other, the episodes follow each other. Sorry for mixing up words, but no, that's not how SpongeBob should go. It shouldn't be that predictable. They're making the episode plots predictable by doing it every episode. Most people are already going to know that's going to be some wild 10-minute adventure, 11-minute adventure. No, a 5-minute adventure in each episode, and it ends without it's supposed to be ending. It's just going to drop off and the episode ends. That's all that's going to happen. And most people probably could see that trend. That's what an episode is. It's just another normal day in Bikini Bottom. Something mysterious, a big event occurs. A lot of action is taken. The episode ends at 11 minutes, whether it's finished or not. To get to the plot, the episode finishes whether or not the event in the episode ended, and it's forgotten of. Each episode starts all over being normal. The end. It's like normal beginning, randomness, the end. Those are the three big steps to making a SpongeBob episode. They start off with it's another day in Bikini, it's another day in the community. Action, the end without explanation. That is how the SpongeBob episodes are structured. And no, that's not what the SpongeBob episodes were supposed to be. That's how they ended up. For people who do not understand this, that is one of the biggest reasons for SpongeBob being downhill, is its repetitive structure. No, that has not been brought up in the other rants, and this is the first rant, SpongeBob rant, that's brought up how repetitive, how predictable each newer episode will be in the future. But it's true. Watch 100 episodes and one will see close to the same plot used. And that's how the randomness is seen. By just abusing it and making it repetitive and not doing a new style of a plot. It's okay to change plots. Like, for example, it's a crazy day in Bikini Bottom. It goes to normal. And then the episode ends with the activities being back to normal, or Bikini Bottom changing permanently and keeping it that way, which they don't do. This is as repetitive as a regular show. It's as repetitive as a Fairly Odd Parents. It's as repetitive as Sanjay and Craig. Which these shows abuse this system too. They don't just abuse randomness, they abuse how predictable a show's plot can really be. Not cool SpongeBob, bad scrap poo. Ugh. Do people understand why there was another rant on SpongeBob? Apparently not. Apologies for that. With that, that is all there's to say for this rant on SpongeBob. See you on the sixth possible rant if there is one. Peace out! Yeah, good night!